guys, it's Holly. Boy, do I have a story to tell you. I'm sorry if my voice is a little awful in this video. I kind of lost my voice this weekend. I will explain why later. Basically, a few weeks ago, I got an email from Warner Brothers saying that I had been identified as a fan of Harry Potter. I wonder why they thought that. And that I was invited to a special screening of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and also a cast panel in front of Hogwarts. So after I screamed and pooped myself and had a panic attack, I needed to find an outfit because they were encouraging us to dress up as our favorite characters from Fantastic Beasts. Well, all of the characters from Fantastic Beasts are in formal clothes pretty much, and I didn't know what to do and I panicked. So I bought this dress from Hot Topic, which is really, really cute. I measured myself with a measuring tape and I ordered the dress according to those measurements, but somehow the dress didn't fit me and I was panicking even more. So I went to the physical Hot Topic store to return it, and hopefully they had my size, but of course they don't really carry plus sizes in store. They have them online, but not in the store. I don't know why you do this, Hot Topic. You have them online. Can't you have them in your store? I don't know. But then I saw this amazing Niffler backpack at Hot Topic, and I was like, immediately, I have to be a Niffler. And also, as a side note, this backpack is like furry, and it's really soft, and then it has like gems and this coin, a quarter dragget, which is really cool, and then it is sparkly. They also had these really cute little mini Funko keychains. So this is the little bow truckle, so adorable. And then they also had baby Nifflers, which I freaked out because that means there's gonna be baby Nifflers in the movie, and how stinking cute is that? They have 3 different styles of the baby Nifflers. So I went to Target and I found this shirt with sparkly sleeves, and I decided that I was just going to make a little pocket and fill it with jewels and wear a bunch of jewels, and I would be the human embodiment of a Niffler. So I was very, very happy with my costume. This is how it turned out. I even made a little scrunchie that had like jewels and beads on it, and then I had my jewels on my neck, and I had some bracelet stuff, and I was just super Nifflery. Now I could bring a +1, so of course I brought Estrella, who is my best friend, and she loves Harry Potter, and she has never been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal, so she lost her mind. The night before we got to go and do everything, we went to the Universal store on the City Walk, and even just that little Harry Potter themed store like shook her brain, and I took a video of her freaking out, and I was laughing so much because she was having the best time. So we woke up bright and early, we got all ready, we went to the movie theater, we got to see the movie before it even comes out at theaters, and oh my gosh, it was so, so, so good. So we just got out of the movie, and it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Full body chills several times. A couple times that we almost pooped our pants from being scared. There are baby Nifflers in this movie. They are literally the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life. They look like little hamsters, but they're Nifflers. They are so cute. Oh my gosh. I can't say a lot about the movie because #ProtectTheSecrets, but oh my gosh, thank you so much, Warner Brothers, for letting me see this movie before it came out. I am so excited for everyone else to get to see it. The only other thing I'll say, which isn't a spoiler, is that Jude Law plays such a good Dumbledore. I don't think I could have picked anyone better to play a young Dumbledore. He did a really good job on it. And of course, the whole cast was amazing, but oh my gosh. So we saw the movie, then we got free admission into Universal Studios, and we went straight for Hogwarts so that we could ride the ride. Now, I have never ridden the ride inside of the castle because I don't do well with motion sickness, and I had heard that it was really bad. It used to be a 3D ride, but so many people got sick on that ride that they made it not 3D. But I was still really scared. Because we got there pretty much right when the park opened, we didn't have to wait at all to ride it, which was fantastic because I know the line is usually really long. So we get on this ride, and the reason why my voice is gone is because I have never screamed so loud and so hard for so long than I did on that ride. I am never riding it again. Oh my god, it was terrifying. There was parts where a dragon was like coming at you, and it's literally like you could probably kick it. That's how close to your feet it was. And it was like, had heat coming off of it, and it scared the living crap out of me, and I screamed so loud that Estrella thought I was like dying. And then there were spiders, like a ton of spiders, and then there were Dementors that were coming to get me, and it was terrifying. Oh my God. Also, I had to close my eyes during the screen parts because even though they made it not 3D, it still was gonna make me sick. And I still felt a little bit sick when we got off the ride, but it wasn't too bad. I closed my eyes for like half the ride. But oh my gosh, it was really good, but it was so scary and I never want to ride it again. Estrella loved it, so I'm happy that she liked it. I wrote it for her, but yes, never again. Oh my God, oh my God. So after we rode the ride, we went around Hogsmeade. I didn't really film any of it, but I do have a video if you want to see me going around Harry Potter at Universal. I will link to that video up in the corner. But it was so much fun. We got to eat at the Three Broomsticks, and all around the park while we're going around is the cast doing different interviews in different part of the park. So there was this one time where we were going to the bathroom and I was standing outside the bathroom. And as I'm waiting for Stray to come out of the bathroom, Ezra, who plays Credence, literally walks right in front of me. And a guy behind me is like, oh, hey, and like wants to take a picture. So he's literally right in my face. And I didn't have time to like pull out my phone or anything, but he literally was like right here. And Estrella saw the whole thing because she was walking out of the bathroom. She was like, oh my God, he was so close to you. I was like, I know, oh my God. And I couldn't get any like footage of it or picture of it, but it was really, really cool. So anyway, so the cast were all over the parks. And then at 1 o'clock, so we had wristbands to get us into the cast panel thing. And we got a spot right in the front, in the middle, the best spot humanly possible. We are right at the front. You can't see because my umbrella. It was amazing. The cast was literally like less than 5 feet away from us. What? It was insane. It was so insane. Oh my gosh. Eddie Redmayne is so adorable in real life. Like, he's the sweetest person ever. Like, you could just tell that he was like the nicest person ever. And there was a part in the interview where he was saying what his favorite character was, and he said that he loved nifflers, and he was like, oh, I see some really cool shirts over here with jewels coming out of a pocket. And my shirt had jewels coming out of a pocket, and while he wasn't looking at me, like, I mean, I think he was talking about me, right? Like, he had to have been, because I was right there in the front. Like, I'm just going to pretend that he was talking about me because it makes me feel better. I filmed the whole cast interview thing. My voice is still messed up from screaming. So here it is.
Everybody who is tuning in, I know that you've all come from a screening, and I bet you all loved it, right? Yeah, that was obvious. And I know we have thousands watching in theatres across the country, and even coming from over in Leavesden in England. So thank you for tuning in. For all of you that have seen it, please, I know you've made a vow to hashtag protect the secrets. That means no spoilers. Looking at you, Dan. No spoilers, the no match on the inside.
Wow, word spreads fast. They've learned of your ways.
What? Do I give away a lot?
You're a spoiler guy.
I am a spoiler.
Word has gone around. You get excited about Star Wars metaphors and you start
You're right.
mussing us up.
But I do have some questions.
I've embargoed myself.
That's probably safe. I have some questions for this amazing panel, so let's get started. Firstly, Eddie, Katherine, and Ezra, what was it like to return to this magical world and portray a character who have all seen some pretty significant changes since the last time we met you?
Do you know, well, first of all, from all of us and everyone all over the world watching this, hi, we're so excited to see you. We can't believe you've just watched this film. One of the wonderful things about making these films, are that they're sort of shrouded in secrecy, but there's only so much self-embargoing you can do. So now it's wonderful that some people are gently seeing it. We have so much fun on the first film. Joe Rowling and David Yates, they kind of put together bands of lovely people. So we had an amazing time, and then these guys arrived. We got some fresh blood.
Hello.
And they raised our game, and we are so grateful to have them on the team, and so it's been a complete treat for me.
Yeah, let's talk to some of these newbies, Zoe and Callum. How was it like for you to come into this iconic wizarding world with these characters who were established? Did they welcome you?
Oh. No, they were great. I was really nervous. It was kind of like the first day at school, you know, but everyone was so welcoming.
I tried to get everyone to shun you, but they said, that wouldn't be nice, Ezra. Let's not do that. No, we should probably welcome her on.
I want to know, what was that first day on set like for you, Zoe?
It was great. I mean, honestly, the best moment is when they hand you your wand. And the worst moment is when they take it away at the end of the day.
I'm sure you got to keep one though, no?
Oh no.
Oh.
They take it away.
Wow. Okay, I'm sure we can work on that.
Thank you. Someone knows somebody.
You can keep one for $75,000. That's how it works. That's how
Jude,
much they cost to me.
you are playing the role of one of J.K. Rowling's most beloved characters, Albus Dumbledore. And wasn't he brilliant? For those who have seen it, he was so wonderful. Did you feel some kind of responsibility to the fans?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Huge
yeah.
amount of responsibility. He's a beloved Potter character, but I thought I was given a little bit of freedom to interpret him myself, and I hope I stepped up.
There was a moment of Jude's first day on set is the moment that Newt sees Dumbledore, and it's in the trailers, and he's on the ledge of St. Paul's Cathedral,
Yeah.
and it starts with just Dumbledore's back, and when he turned and looked at me, he somehow managed to kind of encapsulate in one look like everything that I'd always. It was that kind of gravitas with a little twinkle in the eye. It was Dumbledore right there in one.
Did you make
one
a
twinkle,
short,
Jude.
muffled gasp?
That was all CGI. I had a word with the guys in post-production, and they
You were like, can you
all-
give a twink?
I
Can you
said,
put a twinkle in
up
my
the
eye,
twinkle,
please?
up the twinkle, and a little bit of gravitas.
But I want to know, did you do the leather glove acting, or...
I did.
I thought so.
I did.
I
He's
thought
so
you did.
committed.
Yeah.
I thought you did that.
I'm not going to let someone else do the leather glove.
I
Got that
didn't
part.
think you
I
would.
wanted that. I was claiming
Good
that.
for you. Good for you.
I also wanted to know though, Jude, did Dumbledore's relationship with Grindelwald influence him and make him into the man that we have come to know and love so much?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a defining part of his past life, and again, those who've seen the film this morning know that there's a lot more to be revealed. But clearly, this relationship was intense and intimate. It's some 20 odd years in the past, even from this story. And yet the two of them are still, traveling in the opposite direction, but still carrying certain wounds.
So true. Claudia, welcome. Wonderful. As we all know, you're playing a character whose future we do know, Nagini. But in this film, she's a sympathetic figure, and she's a friend to Credence. So we have kind of no idea what happened in the interim. Has that made you look at the character in Harry Potter films differently, and in what ways?
Well, that doesn't change the fact that Nagini is absolutely terrifying. I look at the figurine and I'm like, I want it, but I'm so scared. But yeah, definitely knowing where her story begins makes me feel sympathetic about the Nagini that we see in the Harry Potter films. And I'm just so curious how she gets there. Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
I don't know. Be
She's
careful
really
of Tom
good at-
Riddle.
Okay, good at keeping it secret.
They're so good at it. You guys are so good at it. I've been interviewing them for years and I can never get anything. Try.
It's because we don't know anything.
It's
Joe
smart.
is the only person who knows.
That's smart. That is smart that they keep it from you. Alison and Dan, we just love your characters' relationship. It is the best thing ever. It's an interesting romance. It's forbidden romance in the Wizarding world because Queenie is a witch and Jacob is a no-maj. So how does that theme fit in with J.K. Rowling's stories, and what do you think they found in each other was so special?
Go for it.
Well, they're kindred spirits. They are two incredibly warm-hearted, loving human beings, and their love is kind of simple in a way. They just adore each other and care for each other, and unfortunately, these stupid rules that say that they can't be together, that it's illegal, make everything just so much harder for them. And so, because of that, they have to make some decisions to figure out how to stay together, and Queenie takes matters into her own hands. Maybe not in the most wise way.
But in a way that I think any woman would if she could.
But yeah, you know, you've got to do what you got to do.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I've learned that that's not the way to get
Free
someone
will
to...
is a bitch, man.
Yeah.
How is the snow not melting?
It's magic. It's all magic. Eddie, I wanted to know, Newt's love of magical creatures has been his calling, but in this film he's being called upon for a different mission. So how do you think that changes him in this film and for things looking ahead?
Well, I feel like Newt's always been a bit of an outsider, but he's found great love with his creatures, and he feels very comfortable there. And he's sort of created his own little cocoon of a world to live in. And in the last film, this one opened his heart quite substantially, and it began to integrate him into the world. But he's been called on by his old teacher and master, Dumbledore, to go and help. And he's got to sort of come out of his cocoon and start making choices. So Dumbledore's trying to get him to go to Paris, start helping, but really it's Catherine's character, Tina, that's pulling him to Paris, I think, to begin with.
Love. It's always love.
He has a funny way of showing it in this film by getting engaged to somebody else.
An endearing way of showing it, I think. Jude, did you have an opportunity to talk to J.K. Rowling about the character and really dig in and get some ideas?
Yeah, I mean, before I started, it seemed the obvious thing to do, and she was very generous with her time and gave me a kind of recap of pretty much, I think, everything we know from the books, but with a little more detail and a little sense of where the character was going. But I think for all of us, you know, she's like this obvious. You know,
She told you more than she told any of us. That's what I know for sure.
We're all furiously jealous.
Because you're Dumbledore, so you get to be like weirdly omnipotent while we all struggle in the dark, and it's genius. And
I made
really
this
got
argument that he's
quite a
always
genius.
he's 3 beats ahead, so I guess that's where I was like, if he's 3 beats ahead,
At
surely he's
least
gotta
3
know.
films. Yeah.
Claudia, Ezra, and Dan, why do you think J.K. Rowling's characters and stories speak to such a global audience?
I think, you know, it's like the cycle of the hero's journey, you know, the cycle of the myth, Joseph Campbell stuff. It's the search for the mother and the father. So we've been hearing these wonderful mythology. It's in part of our zeitgeist and collective unconscious.
Yes.
And then she has this amazing way of making it real and tangible and,
Yes.
you know, like the... Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I like this.
You like that, right?
This is great.
I got scientific.
You did. You dropped some sciences.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Eddie and Jude, how is Dumbledore's relationship with Newt different from his relationship with Harry Potter?
Well, they're more equal. I mean, at some point, obviously, Dumbledore was his teacher, but they're adults. They're also, I'd say, as wizards, you know, they're on a par, and
That's really generous. Thanks.
I got to be honest. As I said it, I'm
going to put that on my CV.
believe-
Dumbledore's magical skills, special skills.
As I said it, yeah, that's a little too generous. No,
But no, there's a kind of it's like a sort of master-apprentice relationship. But in this film, I feel like Dumbledore was that teacher that didn't necessarily stick to the syllabus. He was one of those teachers that you looked at and you admired and you loved because they kind of wavered.
I was imagining like Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society.
Oh, Captain, my
He was like,
captain.
let's go outside.
Oh, Captain, my
He would definitely be
captain.
taking
Turn
us
to
out.
page 48. Rip it out. Throw it out of the window. Now jump out of the window.
Now fly.
Now, Zoe and Callum, we are right by Hogwarts right now, but you guys actually got to film in Hogwarts.
We did.
What was that like, and how jealous was the rest of the cast?
How
How
jealous
jealous
are
are
you?
you?
Very jealous.
You guys don't sound that jealous.
Jude went too, actually.
Oh yeah, I lived
In the
there.
classroom.
I mean, that's your pad.
Albus doesn't get out much. He's very safe in the walls of Hogwarts.
But I mean, the sets are just so incredible. So being transported to that place, you're actually there.
Yeah, there's so much history, and then being surrounded by students that are wearing the uniform that have owls. I mean,
The owl.
the owls. The owls
Zoe
really
loves the
tipped it over
owls.
the edge for me.
The owls are not what they seem.
But there's one scene in the film in which Zoe, your character, goes back to Hogwarts. I've got to say, it's so moving. What you do in that scene is so beautiful, and it kind of inhabits all of our nostalgia for going back to Hogwarts, that school that we've never been to, but we dream of going to. So I
And
was
having
amazing.
Yeah.
a scene with Dumbledore in Hogwarts with owls, I mean, yes, right? Yes.
I cried during that scene. I did. I cried through about 74% of the film. And that was one of the parts where I remember vividly that I was crying.
How many people cried seeing the film? Yeah, I was one too. A few times,
I
actually.
cried a couple times.
I did.
Yeah.
I can see why. Katherine and Alison, we know that the one chooses the wizard, but we've seen that they all have a certain design to them. What was it like to receive your wand for the first time, and how does it reflect your character's personality?
They actually gave us choices, and we kind of got.
I didn't get a choice.
Yeah, on the first film, I think that some things changed between the first and second film. It turns out Jude didn't get wand school. Yeah. But the rest of us, oh, you didn't either? Well,
I
well
did.
done, you two, because it looks really good.
I like to think it's because we didn't need it.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Whatever helps me sleep.
I'm sure you watched us in the first film, and that was all you needed,
Exactly.
right?
Oh, well.
However,
You guys are so insensitive.
Callum definitely went to wand school.
I'm just gonna stand over here while you guys talk about your wands.
Oh, Dad, I'm going to come over there, too.
Just to rub salt in the wound, Callum, what did you learn in wand school?
I learned not to go over the top. You know, the initial instinct is to just really go for it. But
I don't want to throw my brother under a bus here, but
I did break the wand.
he broke his wand in the first test.
How?
They almost fired me.
Breaking news. How? How did this happen?
Malfunction.
Okay. So what did you learn in wand school again?
Just to not go over the top. It's
Okay,
real,
subtlety.
really
How not to
powerful
break
wizards.
his wand.
Subtlety.
It took her about 7 months.
Really?
No.
Oh, goodness. Thank goodness. You don't have that long.
I found out from Jude just now that he basically when he got the part, he was on holiday with his family, and he just went and picked up a twig and spent the entire holiday just walking around with a twig. His family were like,
It was good practice.
I love that commitment.
They thought I was looking for water.
Claudia and Dan, this question's for you. Some of you have talked about growing up reading the Harry Potter books. So what kind of impact did they have on your life, and what was it like learning you were going to be part of the wizarding world?
Come on, Ezra.
Claudia.
I mean, I read all the books too when they first came out. Korean translations weren't available. So yeah, I had someone send books from the US to me. So it definitely felt like I had some kind of secret access. But I think it's so cool that Nagini is not just part of the Fantastic Beasts film, but she's such an iconic character in the Harry Potter films. Yeah, it's such a blessing. I'm so thankful.
I bet. Also, Katherine and Ezra, I know that both of you underwent a little bit of a physical transformation since the first film. New hair, new clothes, new confidence. So how does that reflect the changes in their lives in this film?
Change your hair, change your life.
Yeah, well, we had to change Credence's haircut because there was this actor in Alien Covenant who had the exact same haircut.
Stop.
True, I stole it. I
And
liked his haircut in the first film so much.
You gotta
that I
glow up.
got it for really-
Blow up, baby.
Then we came back to do number 2, and Faye Hammond, we were all like, oh gosh, dang it, we gotta change the
I
haircut.
can't wait to see Tina's haircut number 3.
Yeah.
Buzzed.
I wonder if you can answer this. Do you all have a favorite beast?
The Wampus Cat. Because it is the Wampus Cat.
Eddie, this is going to be tough for you.
I mean, my favorite beast, and I'm seeing some of my favorite t-shirts ever over here, which are basically Niffler t-shirts with like jewels hanging out of a pouch. But in this film, there, you guys who've seen it will see there are baby Nifflers, and they are the most adorable, beautiful, frustrating things. Oh my God, there's one there. There's actually one there. And they are heavenly and nightmarish in equal measure, and they made my life.
Didn't you say, Eddie, that we nearly didn't get the Niffler back, right? He was really demanding.
Yeah, Niffler. I mean, Niffler was obviously the breakout of the first movie.
His trailer was huge.
Trailer massive.
Huge trailer.
He got lawyers, agents, publicists.
He would only wash in Evian.
Seriously.
You weren't allowed to look him in the eye.
So we had to hire children.
Diva. Jude, Katherine, Callum, and Zoe, who can think of a spell they learned while playing your role? And I'm sure there's people here that can help you if you get stuck.
I know Alison says Alohomora because I just love the way that she said it. It's burned into my memory.
Alohomora.
It's really nice for
Oh,
New
one more
York
time.
accent.
One more time.
Yeah.
Alohomora.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
From Siddiqui, that word, and it means blessing on thieves. That's another one of the ones that's not from Latin. Somebody in the crowd know what I'm talking about? Anybody?
Anyone?
Cool.
I said,
So Eddie's right. I did carry around this stick for most of my summer holiday, practicing, and then I only got to make one spell in the whole of the film.
I love that this is
It was
unusual to you
nebulous.
guys. I love that you're like, isn't it crazy? I spent a whole family vacation playing with wand, like a fake wand, and I'm like, okay, well, welcome to our lives.
This is your life now. True. Eddie and Ezra, every Harry Potter fan remembers the spell to combat a boggart. And as we all learned, Newt Scamander's greatest fear is to work in an office. No chance of that happening. So we're good.
You're gonna ask us what our worst fear is, aren't you?
But if you had a boggart, what would it be?
Well, so personal. Cage.
It's not
Jude?
an office for you, right? You love offices, don't you?
I weirdly love offices because I love stationery. I have a weird obsession with stationery, so I love them, provided it's an office with a stationery cabinet that you can kind of go and get like hole punches and staplers from. I'm great. But Jude and I just weirdly had a bonding moment just now when we were asked that question. We realized that we both are obsessed with like tidy things. So like a messy room would probably be my boggart.
Are you very clean at
I'm like
home?
really aggressively tidy.
That's great. That's an amazing quality.
I don't know. That's actually a great quality. Quite tiring.
I wish
Well, anytime you want to practice your ridiculous, just come on up to the 3rd floor, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. Katherine and Dan, this is a hard one. What was your favorite Harry Potter book, or film, and why?
Oh, Azkaban, because like, because that's how I came into it. Gary Oldman, I love his acting, and I was like, let's see what he's doing in this huge franchise. So that's how I approached it. How about you, Kat?
I don't do favorites.
Good for you.
It's a good political answer.
Good
I appreciate it. Without any spoilers, this might be hard, but did anyone have a favorite day on set and why, or favorite scene without giving away anything?
I mean,
Go for it, Ali.
well, when we were together, it was Eddie, Dan, and I, and it was another sort of dinner food situation scene, but they had given me this like big slop, sort of, like instead of the beautiful strudel of the first one, I've made this like slop. And
Lasagna, slightly sloppy lasagna.
Yeah, and I'm slightly irritated with Newt, and so just like flinging slop on plates was so funny, and then also Dan was a bit loopy, so the whole day was just like mayhem.
Dan was loopy?
What? Did you guys like that scene?
So good.
I love getting hugs, and in this film I get 3 hugs.
Oh, yeah.
I get a hug from Dan Fogler, which is like the loveliest thing in the world. I get a hug from my brother twice.
I love you, man.
I'm convinced you guys were separated at birth. It's
Could have
uncanny.
been. There's a possibility. We're not sure.
We actually grew up about 400 meters from each other, so there is a chance.
Oh
We'll talk
my
to our
gosh.
parents and the postman.
I don't know my dad.
We gotta do 23andMe.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. All right, we have a bit of a speed round for you guys. You can just point if that's easier. Who has the best sense of humor in the cast? That's fair. Who can you count on to always remember their lines?
True.
Go, keep going.
Who is the most likely to crack up and laugh, ruining a take, possibly?
Sandwiched.
Ouch.
No, it was
That's not
that
even
common
true.
knowledge.
Hello.
And who geeks out the most on set?
Oh. What do you guys even mean?
I love the excitement. We all share that excitement. Thank you so much for coming out. I think that's all we have time for.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to this incredible cast for being here.
And then after the panel, we just got to walk around Universal Studios, and it was amazing. And I just cannot believe that this happened to me. So thank you so much to Warner Brothers for inviting me to come to this event. I still am in shock, I think, of the whole thing. Like, I've been thinking about it since it happened, and I'm just like, what? This shirt I got from Chelsea DIY, and it says, waiting for my letter from Hogwarts, and I literally feel like I did get my letter from Hogwarts. Like, that's what this feels like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.